You've started over more times than you can count. New routine, new planner, new this time it's different. You get a few days in, maybe a few weeks if you're lucky, and then something breaks the streak and you're back at zero. If that sounds familiar, I want to tell you something that might be hard to hear. The problem isn't your willpower. It's not that you're lazy or undisciplined. The problem is how you're starting in the first place. In this video, I'm going to break down why the start over cycle keeps happening and exactly what to do differently so you actually finish what you start for once. Here's the pattern. You get a burst of motivation, usually after a bad day, a wake-up moment, or scrolling something inspiring at 11 p.m. You decide this is it. You go all in, new habits, new rules, all at once. For the first few days, it works. You're running on adrenaline and novelty, but that fades. It always does. And when it fades, you don't have a system to fall back on. You just have motivation, and motivation already left the building. You miss a day, then two, then you tell yourself you'll restart Monday, and the cycle begins again. This isn't a willpower problem, it's a design problem. You're building something that was never built to last. Here's something most people don't realize. The bigger the leap, the higher the chance you abandon it. When you change everything at once, diet, workout routine, sleep schedule, screen time, morning routine, you're not building one habit. You're asking your brain to manage 5 new identities simultaneously. That's not sustainable, that's overwhelming. And overwhelm doesn't feel like overwhelm at first. It feels like motivation. It feels exciting. That's exactly why it's so easy to fall into. The version of you that finishes things isn't the version that goes hardest on one day. It's the version that builds something so small, it's almost impossible to quit. So, what's the alternative? Instead of asking, what's the most I can do? Ask, what's the smallest version of this I can do every single day, even on a bad day? If your goal is to work out, the smallest version isn't an hour at the gym. It's putting on your shoes. If your goal is to read more, it's not a chapter at night, it's 1 page. This feels almost too easy, and that's the point. You're not trying to impress yourself. You're trying to prove to your brain that you're someone who shows up consistently, regardless of how you feel. Once the identity is built, the bigger goals become natural extensions of it. You don't have to force them, you just keep going. This is the part that actually decides whether you start over again or finally break the cycle. You will miss a day. That's not failure, that's normal. The failure isn't missing one day, it's the story you tell yourself after. If you miss a day and think, I ruined it, I'll start fresh Monday, that's the start over trap talking. The rule that actually works is simple. Never miss twice in a row. 1 missed day is an accident. 2 is the beginning of a new pattern and not the one you want. You don't need a better personality to follow through on things. You need a smaller starting point and a rule for what happens when you slip. Pick one thing you've restarted a dozen times. Shrink it down until it feels almost too easy. Start there and let me know in the comments what's the thing you keep starting over. If this helped, subscribe. I post videos like this every week to help you build the kind of mindset that actually sticks. I'll see you there.